Neville Goddard is one of the great spiritual teachers and author of many books. In this video, we'll discuss 4 words that can change your life by introducing a completely different version of yourself. If you want to manifest any desire or wish for a completely different life, this technique can work for anything you desire. Stay with us, and you'll receive these 4 words that you can use to bring about any changes in your life. This technique is based on Neville Goddard's book, The Law and the Promise. This verbal technique has contributed to many success stories, and many people who tried it admitted they achieved exactly the results they desired. Thanks to this manifestation method, it works like a magical charm, and it's quite likely it will work excellently for you too if you practice this method according to all the instructions we'll discuss shortly. This technique will take you only about 30 seconds to perform. But before we get to the heart of the matter, I want to share with you a story that Neville Goddard mentioned in his book, The Law and the Promise. This is about how this technique worked for a woman who needed money and financial stability in her life. The woman told Neville Goddard that she was in a period of life where she was struggling with financial problems. She was looking for work, but couldn't find any. She wanted to buy a car, but had no job to afford it. At that time, she even had difficulty paying rent. This woman learned about Goddard's technique, which completely changed her life. In her own words, she said she started using these 4 words instead of thinking and imagining everything she needed. She tried to capture the feeling that something wonderful would happen to her. Not tomorrow, not in a week, but right now. Going to sleep, she would repeat these 4 magical words in her mind over and over. She repeated this action and feeling with it night after night. One day, she met a casual acquaintance whom she hadn't seen for months. This friend informed her that he was just leaving for New York. She had lived in New York many years ago, and they talked about the city for a while before parting ways. A month later, on the same day, this man called at her apartment and simply handed her a certified check for $25,000. How she got this check was simply amazing, as $25,000 was an enormous sum of money at that time. The woman, continuing her story, said that when her friend was talking to someone she knew from her New York days, that person had become incredibly wealthy. When this wealthy person learned that her friend was in contact with the woman, they told him to give her a check for $25,000. From that moment on, this woman was also included in the wealthy person's will. This person said they wanted to support the woman as an artist, and the woman receives monthly checks for $25,000 for the rest of her life. The woman, concluding her story, says that after applying this technique, this free technique of Neville Goddard's 4 words, her life changed incredibly, and she attributes all her success to these very 4 words. Isn't it wonderful? Just think about all the things you want in your life. Imagine them and visualize them, and then speak them aloud. Isn't it wonderful? When you visualize them, enter into that feeling of desire, because that's where the real fun lies. Just think about your desire and completely immerse yourself in that feeling, because that feeling will take you where you really want to be. This is the feeling you should achieve when manifesting using this technique. The feeling you have when you achieve your desired result, the feeling you'll have at the end of this desire. This should be your goal when manifesting using these 4 words. Isn't it wonderful? So again, when you visualize it, when you imagine it, When you think about that desire, just live in that moment. Don't think about how you'll get there. Don't think about the next step you need to take to achieve this desired result. Don't think about all these things because it just feels good when you think about it, right? Don't dwell on the how, when, and why. Just know that around you is this magical presence in the form of energy, and it will take you where your desire is. This is exactly what that woman did every night before going to bed. In his book, The Law and the Promise, you can practice this technique in the morning if you want, but it is most effective when you do it before falling asleep. As with most of Neville Goddard's techniques, he advises his followers to practice it in the evening before sleep. Due to its effectiveness and the power of our subconscious mind, which is tasked with maintaining that feeling, those emotions, and that thought throughout the night. This is what makes it so effective when done in the evening. Now, let's quickly move on to practicing this technique. First, when you're falling asleep, close your eyes and let your thoughts flow like a river that just flows. Let those positive thoughts just flow. Don't stop at the rocks and dams. These rocks and dams represent your negative thoughts and beliefs that you cling to because you believe that's just how things are. But don't dwell on them because they give you nothing. Don't hold yourself back because of them. Let those thoughts flow like a river. Release all those negative beliefs. Take a deep breath and repeat these words. Isn't it wonderful that happiness meets me at every step? Isn't it wonderful that wealth comes to me effortlessly? Isn't it wonderful that I am beautiful, happy, and full of success? Repeat them as many times as you want, until you feel that overwhelming feeling completely consuming you. When you feel overwhelmed with the feeling, all the images, all the pictures and scenes of your desired result will start appearing in your head, and you'll see a clear path where you have everything you desire. Repeat this for 30 days and observe the results with your own eyes. If you stayed until the end, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now it's your turn. Try this technique and write about your experiences. See you in the next video.